Hi, and welcome to English-Fabule. Are you learning English? Great. Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started.
This book tells the story of a big problem that suddenly hit America. It is about the country's chicken industry, which is a huge and very important part of farming and food. In just 6 short months, this industry faced a terrible crisis, a kind of collapse. The United States once sent billions of dollars worth of chicken all over the world. These sales to other countries are called exports, and they were a major business. But then, almost all of these exports stopped completely, surprising everyone. Many farms and businesses that raise chickens and prepare them for sale are now in great trouble. The numbers show a very clear and shocking picture of this collapse. 94% of all U.S. chicken that was meant for international buyers was suddenly turned away. This meant it was not bought or was left to go bad. More than 130,000 tons of American poultry was left rotting at ports, unable to be sold. Countries that used to buy a lot of American chicken, like China, Canada, and Mexico, stopped their orders, leaving U.S. producers with nowhere to send their goods. This huge problem started because of new trade rules. President Donald Trump, who is the current president of the United States, put in place a new plan. He wanted to make other countries buy more products from American farms, especially chicken. To do this, he placed extra taxes, called tariffs, on many goods brought into the U.S. Other countries did not like these new tariffs because it made their products more expensive for Americans. In return, they quickly put their own high tariffs on American products, like chicken. This action quickly led to a global trade war, where countries fought each other with taxes on goods. A trade war makes it very hard for countries to sell their goods to each other. For America's chicken industry, this trade war caused immense damage very fast. It meant that a huge part of their export business, built over many years, simply vanished almost overnight. This crisis is much more than just big numbers and global politics. It directly impacts real people and local communities across the nation. Many family farms in small towns across America have relied on selling chicken to other countries for their living. These farms and the towns around them are now facing very hard times, struggling to survive. The jobs of countless workers and the future of their families are at risk because of this unexpected trade war. This book will explore how this crisis developed so quickly and the big, lasting changes it brought to America's poultry industry. 2. How it started. The crisis in American chicken exports started with a trade war. This began in March of 2025. At that time, President Donald Trump decided to put new rules on trade. His main goal was to make trade fairer for America. He wanted other countries to open their markets more. He specifically aimed to force them to buy more farm products from the United States. He believed this would help American farmers sell their goods overseas. To make this happen, President Trump used high tariffs. A tariff is like an extra tax on goods that come into a country. He started with a 25% tariff on many imports from Canada and Mexico. After that, the taxes quickly grew. By April, the U.S. had also added tariffs on a wide range of goods from China. Some of these taxes were very high, going up to 125% on certain items. These tariffs were meant to make foreign goods more expensive. The hope was that other countries would then choose to buy American products instead, like chicken. However, the world of trade is very complex. It is not like a simple game where one side wins easily. Food products, like chicken, face many different rules in other countries. These include rules about health and safety. People in different places also have their own food tastes and buying habits. There are also very old and strong business connections between countries that cannot change overnight. President Trump's plan was quite direct, but the global market had too many parts for such a simple approach. More critically, the strategy did not fully understand how other countries would respond. The U.S. wanted them to simply agree and start buying more American farm goods. But these countries did not want to be told what to do. They did not want to be forced into new trade deals just because of high tariffs. Instead of buying more, they began to prepare their own actions. They showed that they were not willing to simply give in to the U.S. demands. This set the stage for bigger problems ahead. 3. The world fights back. The world reacted quickly and strongly to the new U.S. trade policies. Countries that used to buy a lot from America did not simply accept the situation or President Trump's demands. Instead, they decided to fight back with their own powerful measures. These nations, including Canada, China, and Mexico, quickly added their own tariffs or taxes on American goods. This sudden change made U.S. products, like chicken, much more expensive and less desirable for buyers in those countries. Canada was one of the first to respond with force. It placed a 25% counter tariff on many different U.S. goods. China, which was seen as America's biggest possible market for chicken, reacted with an 84% tariff on some U.S. farm products. China also put other very strong limits on agricultural imports. Mexico, a very big buyer of American chicken for a long time, also got ready to put similar tariffs on U.S. goods. These clear steps were a direct message. They would not buy American goods under the new, unfair rules. Because of these strong actions from international partners, American chicken was suddenly blocked from its largest and most important international markets. Countries that eagerly bought U.S. chicken before now faced tough barriers. For instance, China, a major importer of American chicken paws, which are a popular food item there, effectively shut its doors to these products. This created an immediate and very serious problem for the American chicken industry, stopping many businesses in their tracks. The whole system for moving American chicken around the world, known as the supply chain, started to break down fast. Ships that were meant to carry huge amounts of American chicken across oceans were now often empty. At U.S. ports, from places like Houston in Texas to Savannah in Georgia, the situation became very bad and clearly visible. Huge amounts of American chicken shipments had nowhere to go because they were rejected by foreign buyers. Reports showed that a shocking 94% of all U.S. chicken shipments were turned away by international customers. Over 130,000 tons of American poultry was left sitting, rotting at these ports. This quick and strong global reaction made it clear that the trade war was severely hurting America's own farmers and businesses. The smooth, easy flow of trade had completely stopped, replaced by confusion, massive waste, and huge economic losses. 4. A new world for chicken. The world of chicken trade changed fast. When American chicken could not reach other countries, other nations quickly took its place. This change was sudden and complete. Brazil became a big winner. It sent more chicken to global markets than ever before, reaching record levels. In September 2024 alone, Brazil exported almost 500,000 metric tons of chicken. This was a 22.1% increase from the previous year, showing its rapid growth. Thailand, the world's third-largest chicken exporter, also saw its business grow greatly. When Brazil faced its own challenges, like bird flu outbreaks, Thai producers stepped in. They captured more market share, especially in processed chicken products, where they had strong technology advantages. These shifts happened in just a few months. Markets that American producers had spent decades to build were quickly taken by other nations. The U.S. Poultry and Egg Export Council reported big export losses, totaling $895 million, with no clear way to get these markets back. Countries like Canada also looked for new trade partners. Canada used to buy a large part of its chicken, about 80 to 85%, from the United States. Now, Canada quickly changed where it bought chicken. Chile became a very important new supplier for Canada. Experts thought Chile could sell over 20,000 metric tons of chicken to Canada each year by 2026. Even Mexico started selling processed chicken products to Canada. This showed a big change in trade patterns across North America. The map of who sells chicken to whom changed completely. China's chicken market also transformed a lot. With limits on American chicken, Brazil now supplied 66% of the chicken China imported. Thailand supplied 9%. The United States, which once was a major seller, now only supplied 17%, and this number continued to fall. The gap left by American products was filled so well by these new competitors that it would be very hard for the U.S. to get back its old market share. This was true even if all the trade problems ended. American producers lost important markets they had kept for many years. The new relationships built by other countries with buyers were strong, and these buyers might not come back to American suppliers. The way chicken moved around the world changed completely and very fast, creating a new world for chicken trade. 5. The price of the war. The trade war brought a very high cost for many American farmers. Across the country, more farms faced financial trouble. There was a huge increase in farm bankruptcies. In 2024, farm bankruptcies went up by 55% compared to the year before. Then, in the first 3 months of 2025, the number of farms going out of business nearly doubled. Lawyers who helped farmers with money problems said they saw a lot of worry. Many families who had farmed for generations faced a very hard choice: keep going or close forever. These were not just numbers. These were sad stories of family farms closing down. For example, a farmer from Kentucky, Caleb Ragland, said his family had worked the land for 9 generations. He worried his farm might be gone by 2027 because of the trade war. These farms were often in states like Georgia, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Alabama. Here, chicken farming was a very important part of the economy and culture. Small towns which relied on these farms also suffered greatly. They saw their way of life change quickly, with fewer jobs and less money moving around. Many people worried about their future and how to keep their homes and businesses. At the same time, American shoppers also felt the cost. They had to pay more for chicken and eggs in stores. Egg prices were already high because of bird flu outbreaks, but the new tariffs made them even more expensive. The government agency, the USDA, said that egg prices could go up by over 40% in 2025. This was a much bigger increase than they first thought. By July of that year, egg prices were still more than 16% higher than they had been the year before. Many restaurants also found it hard to buy chicken. Some even took chicken wings off their menus. This created a strange situation, a real paradox. America was exporting much less chicken to other countries because of the tariffs. This meant more chicken was staying in the U.S., but prices for chicken and eggs at home were actually going up, not down. The tariffs were supposed to protect American farming and make things better. Instead, they made food more costly for American families. Other countries found cheaper chicken from places like Brazil and Thailand because American chicken was too expensive with the added tariffs. So, American chicken stayed in the U.S. market, but still, its price for local buyers went up due to other trade-related costs. The war had a big price for everyone, from farmers to families buying groceries. 6. More problems for farmers. Farmers in the United States were already facing many difficulties. Then, a new and very serious problem came: bird flu. This sickness, known as highly pathogenic avian influenza, HPAI, made the whole situation much worse. The disease spread fast among chicken farms, causing millions of birds to die. In total, over 40 million chickens were lost across different states. This included a big number of hens that laid eggs, which also affected the supply of eggs for people to buy. This was a devastating time for many poultry farms and their owners. The bird flu outbreak quickly led to more difficulties in international trade. Countries around the world became very concerned about buying chicken from the United States. They feared that the sickness could spread to their own birds. Because of this, many nations put new bans on American chicken and other poultry products. These countries used the bird flu as another strong reason to stop imports from the U.S. For example, China, South Africa, and the Dominican Republic banned chicken from 37 U.S. states where HPAI had been reported. This meant that even if tariffs were not a problem, American chicken could not reach these important markets. Farmers found fewer and fewer places to sell their products, and a lot of chicken went to waste. On top of these problems, people in other countries started taking their own actions. Shoppers began to boycott American products. To boycott means that people choose not to buy something as a form of protest. These shoppers were unhappy with the trade policies from the U.S. government, especially those from President Donald Trump. In Canada, a large number of people, more than 70%, said they planned to buy fewer American goods. Some grocery stores in Canada even helped customers find products made in Canada instead of those from the U.S. This consumer boycott was not limited to Canada. People in countries like Mexico and China also showed a strong desire to avoid American brands. This created a huge challenge for American companies and farmers. Even if the tariffs were gone and the bird flu was controlled, many international customers simply did not want to buy U.S. products because of their political feelings. American brands that had spent many years building a good name abroad suddenly faced distrust. These multiple problems, disease, trade restrictions, and consumer boycotts, made an already hard time for American farmers even more desperate. They were truly caught in a difficult situation with no easy answers. 7. A lost advantage. The United States chicken industry started to lose its strong position in technology and new ideas. Other countries invested heavily in better ways to process chicken and manage their operations. For example, producers in Thailand became experts in making special chicken products that were worth more money. They built modern systems that covered everything from raising chickens to preparing the chicken for sale, allowing them to react quickly to market needs and control costs. Brazil also invested in different product types and flexible ways to send chicken to many markets, making their exports more adaptable. These countries quickly gained new competitive advantages in the global market. The U.S. government's help for struggling farmers was often too little and came too late. President Donald Trump's administration offered financial aid, much like the large programs from the first trade war in 2018 and 2019. However, these payments were based on how much was produced, meaning they mostly went to large chicken operations and big companies. Small family farms, which were struggling the most and facing bankruptcy, often received less help or found it hard to get. New rules about workers also caused problems. making it harder for farms to find enough people to work. These aid payments did not fix the real problem. The U.S. had lost its global chicken markets. Other countries had already found new partners and suppliers. This meant the loss was not just for a short time. The systematic damage to trade relationships was deep and lasting. Money alone could not bring back these lost customers or rebuild years of trust. The crisis also showed how food security could become a political tool. Countries began to see their food supply as a way to gain power and reduce risks. China, for example, quickly started buying agricultural products from many different nations, not just the United States. This helped them rely less on one source. European countries also used this chance to strengthen their own food partnerships. They made agreements with nations like Ukraine to secure food supply. Food trade, once purely about business, became a part of larger political strategies. This made it clear that a country's food supply could be used as a political weapon in a changing world. 8. What happens now? The American chicken industry has faced a very difficult time. In just 6 months, the United States saw a huge fall in its chicken exports. Most American chicken, about 94%, was rejected by buyers in other countries. More than 130,000 tons of American poultry were left to spoil in ports. This fast and big problem showed the great unraveling of an industry that was once very strong. This crisis also caused long-term damage to America's reputation as a reliable trade partner. Other countries now see the United States as less steady. They learned that trade rules can change suddenly for political reasons. Because of this, many buyers looked for chicken from other nations. Countries like Brazil and Thailand quickly stepped in to fill the gap. These new business relationships are strong and will be very hard for the U.S. to get back. The trust factor for American goods is now much lower. The road to recovery for American chicken exports will be difficult and long. Even if all trade problems are solved, other countries have already made new plans. Competitors have built new systems and strong relationships with buyers. Consumers in other countries started boycotting American products, and these feelings take a long time to change. It could take many years for American chicken to get back its old place in the global market. This is a lasting cost, or a reliability discount. One key lesson from this trade war is that trying to force other countries to buy products does not often work. The global market is complex, and it can change very fast. When America put high tariffs on other countries, those countries put their own tariffs on American goods. This showed clearly that hurting others in trade often hurts your own country and people more. Everything in the world economy is connected. If one part breaks, many other parts feel the pain too. The final conclusion is important. In a global economy, hurting others will also hurt yourself. We all share the same trading table. If that table is overturned in anger, everyone will feel the hunger. What do you think is the most important step for the U.S. chicken industry to take now?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.